and gentlemen, welcome to the first match of the playoffs in Sunday Night Blood Bowl regular season. Season 1, the inaugural playoffs. So, our top 4 teams are myself, followers of Sylvanas, Gnawhole Nibblers, led by Cavalry Wolfpack, Naggarond's Chosen, led by Reaper, and the Bloodclaws, led by the Expert Gamer. Today for you, yep, that's him. So, we are doing 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3 for seeding, with 1 and 2 taking home field. So today is a home field game for the Gnawhole Nibblers as they go up against the Naggarond's Chosen, and we have both coaches here today. Coaches, you guys just played each other last week, same as our teams did. It was really weird how it worked out like that. So, how do you guys feel coming off of that previous match against each other going into this next game? You just got a good look at how each other's teams run. How do you think you're going for this one? Do you think it did enough damage last week? Are you feeling good about it? Eiley, let's start with you. How are the Nibblers feeling?
I feel pretty good about it. I drew last week, down 2 or 3 players, and now I've got the full roster. And he's down a player, so this is going to be great.
Oh boy.
So, things are feeling pretty good for you. Reaper, how about you and the Naggaronds? How are the Dark Elves feeling this week?
Well, I mean, we were literally 1 bad roll away from a win last week.
I know that feel. I think we all do.
So,
This is true.
and I may be short-handed, but when has that stopped me before?
This is true.
Yeah, you've always been willing to step up to the plate. So, teams, if you would both send in your, go ahead and start your game up. Get those inducements picked, and me and Dylan are gonna head on up to the booth and get ready for a good night of Sunday Night Blood Bowl.
There's a hot dog vendor with my name on him. Literally,
Wait.
I paid a goblin to stitch it onto his back.
Okay.
You have how much petty cash?
200.
Alright, so Reaper has 200k petty cash, I just heard, as we got ready to start this. I'm gonna have to ask them once they get going how they spent their petty cash, or we'll just like check the things in the top corners.
I don't think
We
it's
can check
unreasonable to expect a star player.
Frankly, I would advise you pick one up if he is short a player and he's got that much petty cash.
Definitely.
I could expect to see either the Bombardier or Helmut the Chainsaw Goblin. I believe this team has access to those two. Most of the teams do. It's been a while since I've checked the specific star players for these teams.
Me too.
And I think they have an assassin, I think, as one of their star player options, but he already has an assassin. Ooh, Naggarond's Chosen have an assassin going into this game, and the Skaven average armor, I think, is 7.
Oh boy.
So he's going to be able to go for a lot of stabs.
This is gonna get bloody. Really putting the blood in Blood Bowl.
Oh, I certainly hope so. It's going to look like Warhammer. It's going to look like Vermintide down there.
Oh Jesus. Oh, I'll be right back. Looks like things are getting rowdy outside. Just, lock the door behind me. I'll knock when I need to come back in.
No, don't worry. I always do.
Good.
All right, so right now the two teams, it looks like Eiley's team, I would say Eiley's team is the favorite to win, her having overall a better record, not by too much, but given that the previous week, that second tie against the Naggarond's Chosen, largely due to a low player count, which I will take full credit for, I injured and I think killed actually one of Eiley's players. No, I didn't kill one of Eiley's players, but I injured a couple and left her with a low team count going into that game. It looks like they finally got set up. But now with the advantage in player count shifting and there only being a tie last week, it looks like the numbers are starting to favor the Gnawhole Nibblers going into this week. But as mentioned, the assassin on the Naggarond's Chosen side will be a big threat. It looks like Naggarond's Chosen did in fact pick up a star player, Eldril Sidewinder.
I'm back.
Good thing you took a key with you. I forgot to listen to for the knock.
Yeah, I imagine things got pretty dicey. 2 goblins were trying to throw somebody over the top. I couldn't stop them, but you know, recordings.
Well, you can never really stop that, can you? Gnawhole Nibbler's going to get the quick snap. They're going to get to position a little bit better around the ball. And it looks like they are going to shift their way over towards setting up a cage along the left half of the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Good call moving Fodder 4 over to the right wing to cover. Looks like he's going to keep the front line as it is. I would have considered shifting, but there is an early blitz onto Eldril. And just going to be some pushes here this time.
All right, my orb's catching up.
Alright, it's unfortunate that there were only pushes there, and the Rat Ogre not really placed where I would expect, given the guard skill currently set up. I would think that the Hot Grinder profile would probably want to be set up towards the center of the pitch to try and help all of the weaker units make a few plays. And Sure Hand's not going to be enough to get this pickup.
Ah, well.
And Sure Hands is a reroll, so that is going to prevent the ability to use a team reroll.
Well.
And this is a very, very favorable position for the Dark Elves.
Yeah,
looks like they're going to go for Hot Grinder profile out the gate.
Yep.
Not sure I agree with using the Blitz for it, but...
Oh, hey, it came off.
It's going to get the knockdown. No armor break, unfortunately. But that is at least going to keep one of the bigger threats down. Now they really need to move their way over to the left side of the pitch and start to cover the large amount of Skaven that are taking over that side of the pitch.
You gotta appreciate the amount of experience that the Naggarond's chosen decided to put in the Hot Grinder profile. Something that big's a threat on a good day. Or, hell, it's a threat on a bad day, but a level 3 one? That is a monster.
And the stab is not going to be successful onto Urk. That is a 9-up roll, a bit more difficult to make than just going for one of the basic linemen. But I can see his reasoning, and there's going to be probably a turnover. I wouldn't expect him to use a reroll here. Yeah, that's definitely better to save it that time.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's the stun.
And it looks like that's going to be one player down for the Naggarons going into this turn. I don't expect Hot Grinder profile to get the blitz here.
Mm-hmm.
There's not as much of an assist.
Oh,
he's just trying to stand up, but Wild Animal not going to let him get up. And unfortunately, since he is down on the ground, even though Wild Animal normally would let him keep his tackle zone, he's not going to get it this time.
Yep, just sleeping like a little rat.
Sleeping like a big rat.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that anybody has an inherent advantage thus far. I mean, the Skaven certainly do have the ball on their side, but with Hot Grinder profile down on the ground and Wild Animal being of no help, the entire setup of the whole place really seems to just be neither here nor there, and the dodge on Eldril Sidewinder definitely helping that out a bit further. Maybe they plan to knock him off the pitch early, which would actually be pretty solid.
Getting the star player off the pitch here would be very useful, but right now, the Skaven really need to get the ball into a secure position, and given that both teams play very quickly, they're going to want to set up this cage a little back from the line of scrimmage rather than on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because one on the line of scrimmage can very easily get surrounded, so they're going to want to set it up a little bit back. Now it looks like they're just going for a couple of blocks to try and give themselves good placement. I imagine Fodder 1 going into Glornian there, and Urk going to go into Fearcaller.
Yep.
The Assassin, a very important target to take out here.
2 squishy and fast teams going up against each other in fights. That's the good part about it. There's plenty of bloodshed when 2 squishy teams are involved.
Yeah, there hopefully will be. I'm guessing the Assassin's going to be isolated now. The ball's still on the ground, back over by Handegg Flinger.
Oof.
Oh, there was a shadowing attempt from Fearcaller. I'm not sure the shadowing was a good idea to try, but might have positioned him a little bit better. And there's going to be the first armor break. It's just going to be a stun this time.
Whenever it happens, it's like it's in slow-mo.
I know, weird.
Yeah. You think they put something in the water? All right, they got a successful pickup thanks to Urk. He's moving in. Seems to have some support from other Quickie Boy and one Quickie Boy. It's been a while since I've seen the Quickie Boys. I didn't know that one Quickie Boy reached rank 3. Props to him.
I believe one Quickie Boy hit rank 3 about 2 weeks ago.
Oof.
Now he's got, looks like diving catch on him. Let me go ahead and... There we go. Now for all of our viewers, all of the skills that are in play are viewable.
Convenient.
Yes. And you fans at home can let me know if you want to see all the skills in play, or just the ones that have been unlocked through levels, like this. But, for the time being, I want to make sure that everyone knows what's going, and there's not a ton of... Oh, looks like we're going to get a blitz. Back on a hand egg, but that's a failed going for it.
And the pro fails.
Oh, he tried a pro roll. Good to try and save the team reroll, but that's a very, very crucial hit, because if you look at the field now, it's just take down Andith, take down Kurthel.
It looks like the Skaven have gotten a very big advantage in having that Rat Ogre up to keep no less than 3 of those, well, now 2 of those Blood Elves occupied.
Yeah, at the left end of the pitch now, completely at the mercy of the Gnawhole Nibblers. It just takes 2 good blocks, and one of the Quickie Boys will be off to the races. That's not going to give them exactly what they want. Once again,
hey,
we see another pro roll coming out, this time from Skaven. And this position's still not bad for them. It's very easy for other Quickie Boy to get around this outside edge.
This seems like it's the turn that the Skaven have got to capitalize on. If they don't, well, I could very well see quite a few of those elves just getting up and getting ready for a serious brawl.
Absolutely. There's a lot of players down on that side of the pitch, and the Skaven really need to take advantage of that now. And there we can see they're locking down Andith, the Witch Elf. The Witch Elf just got picked up, I think, a week ago.
Oh yeah.
And the assassin only about 2 or 3. Reaper's actually been playing most of this season just with the linemen and the blitzers, which not the most advisable way to do it, but it has allowed him to keep some extra players, and I would say get some extra rerolls, but he only has the 2.
Well, it seems like despite the odds, he's managed to make it to the playoffs, so you gotta root for the underdog.
Now the middle of the pitch is opening up. There's a solid pathway for other Quickie Boy to make it very easily down around the left side. Whether Handegg is going to get the ball to him on this turn, I'm uncertain, but I think that would be his best play, just to get the ball into the hands of other Quickie Boy, get him downfield, and then use one Quickie Boy to cover him up. But as we've seen, and there the Surf almost coming out, as we've seen many times from Eiley during this season, she likes to play the Gnawhole Nibblers a lot more brawly than most Skaven teams are meant to, and for most games it has worked in her favor, and I think that's why in the minor league her Amazon team is doing incredibly well. That team built a little bit more around the way her playstyle is. I believe the Amazons will be moving up into the majors. They're currently undefeated in the minors, so they will outrank the Skaven by just 1 position at the end of the regular season.
Impressive.
And it looks like we do have indeed the handoff to other Quickie Boy, and there he goes down the field, that 9 movement. And he's going to take the Oh, she took the rerolls. Or took the going for it. And now reroll's going to have to come out to keep the ball in possession. That is going to succeed, thankfully.
Dang.
And now it's going to take... It would take the Andith, the Witch Elf, both rerolls just to get to other Quickie Boy. And with those tackle zones from one Quickie Boy covering, I don't see any way that the
this
Naggaronds can...
One hell of a roll, but you know what? I think he could do it. All right, she's cleared both of them.
Here's the attempt. And
cleared the rolls.
Oh, one roll short.
This is the time.
Going for it has to be made.
Oh my
god. And the
God.
dodge is going to save other Quickie Boy.
But Frenzy.
Oh, nope, Frenzy can't go through. Not enough movement left.
Oh, which means that if she can manage to block him, then she can prevent this. But, oh boy, this is very quickly moving into the other pitch territories. If I had to choose one thing, it'd be to move all of those elves, get them on their feet, which it seems he's doing. But man, we're on turn 3 and the game's getting intense.
Looks like we're going to see an early turn 3 touchdown. A lot of these quick scores most likely going to be coming out for the duration of this game, as both teams are equipped to pull them off. And I believe Oh, that block is going to fail. And unfortunately, I think that's going to be a touchdown early for the Skaven.
I don't know if it is.
Unless somehow the dodge roll from other Quickie Boy fails.
Twice, mind you.
Yeah, twice. But looks like first there's gonna be a surf. Eldril going off the pitch, the star player.
Ooh.
Not gonna be injured though. No injury or KO, just sent to the reserve, so he will be back for the next drive.
Been hearing a lot of words from the fans today. It doesn't seem like anybody's trying to kill anyone off the pitch. And there's the touchdown.
Oh, I think they may be trying to kill somebody now. Other Quickie Boy making his way in for the first touchdown of the game on turn 3. Now,
Well,
luckily for the Naggarond's Chosen, not only do they get the ball back here, but they are going to get the ball back for the second half, so they'll have a decent chance at scoring and making all this up.
still plenty of Blood Bowl left to play today.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
All right. Now, Skaven gonna have to set up for a defensive play. I think what really went wrong for the Dark Elves there was that both teams really fought in a brawling setup on the line, and having the turn advantage is really what gave the Gnawhole Nibblers that drive. The fact that they were able to make all of their blocks before the Naggaronds could make their blocks.
Mm-hmm.
In a brawling game like this, where neither team makes an obvious advantage aside from a couple of stuns, that's the kind of thing that really wins the game. I think once all those stuns came out, what Reaper really needed to do, extra team reroll coming out, the ball going to be dropped, and as a result, going to be a touchback. But I think what Reaper needed to do there with the Naggarond's Chosen was once he had all of his players stunned on the line, he needed to set up with enough distance to force the blitz to be used to create an opening. I don't think that lining himself up against the Skaven was going to help him out, because when you have two teams set up right across from each other, whoever swings first most likely will win. So if you don't have that turn advantage, you really need to set up...
Ooh.
Stab's gonna fail. You need to set up with a plan to not get too hit yet.
Yep.
So you have to force your opponent to play into you when you're running a defensive team. Or when you're running defensive with such a speed-based team. And unfortunately, moving Glornane into that position is not going to give any strength bonuses. He would have had to move that to the outside of the pitch, but here we are going to see Urt get pushed away. So now Glornane will be able to give a buff to Ridar for his block, and now we're going to see the knockdown. And we have an armor break, and that is our first KO of the game.
Yikes.
First KO of the game.
I heard
Skaven lineman going to be taken off.
I heard a rumor that Dark Elves replaced the bottoms of their cleats with just pure spikes.
Well, I heard a rumor that the assassin brings a knife, and we've seen that one come true, so who knows? It would not surprise me if they've sharpened all those little high heels as much as they can.
Ugh. Well, it looks like the elves are really forming up. Maybe they're gonna...
It looks like they're setting up a cage in the center of the pitch. They're gonna have to close off some of these gaps because, and it looks like they are going to, the Rat Ogre came equipped to this game with Break Tackle. So,
well,
as good as cages are, the Break Tackle will make it so much easier for him to get through, and now we're going to see another block coming out onto the other Storm Vermin.
Whew. Well, if they can manage to break through the Rat Ogre, I could see them actually pulling off a surprising yet very good comeback in the first half of this game. This is really shaping up to be a really good game of Blood Bowl.
I do think they could do that. Unfortunately, with the way they've set up in this cage, right in the center of the pitch with all of their players set up here, all Eiley needs to do is set up just one square away along each side of this cage, and then there is nowhere for the ball to go. And Eiley just needs to delay this for 4 turns. And now the advantage Reaper has in that front is that he can score fairly quickly. If he gets an opening on turn 7, he will score on turn 8. So, Eiley will have to make a play on the ball at some point during this drive.
I would have kept one of my elves out on the outer side. This way they could slip around behind this entire, well, let's be real, what's about to be a slaughter on both sides. And this way they could just quickly prep, throw the ball, and then the person on the outer end can bring it to the end zone.
At this point, I can see a real mess starting to shape up.
Oh, here comes
and
the
here
rat
comes
ogre.
the blitz from the Rat Ogre. Gonna take out
Whoa.
the Witch on the edge. There's gonna have to be a reroll there. He can't afford for that to fall. If the Rat Ogre goes down, it's just one block, and then the runner has open field ahead of him. But Loner is going to come out, and this drive...
And
there's a
whoa.
double stun.
Looks like Hot Grinder profile just got glitched, if you know what I mean.
Not at all, but as a result of this, all it takes is one good block onto fodder 3, and then Banis has the entire field to himself.
I don't know if I would send a lone soldier out there, but you know what? For all we know... Oh, and there it is.
There's the knockdown.
And now he's got a clear line straight down Broadway.
And Banis gonna be
Really
heading
taking
straight downfield. Not enough movement to really get away from the Skaven, so this cage gonna have to go form up on him.
They are.
And there is enough movement that it would only take a going for it or two in order to actually set up a cage again.
Bear in mind, they wouldn't even need a full-on cage. All they'd have to do is get a couple people around him, and then some others getting in the way of those who would try and move up to intercept.
Yeah, it looks like the blitz gonna... I do not agree with that block at all.
I don't know what he's thinking, but you know what? If it works, it works.
Well, hopefully it will work, because all of these block... Oh, just gonna be a high five there.
Pretty much.
But right now, a big oversight that I'm seeing right now is that Eldril on the... Oh, no, there he goes. He's going to cover that. I was going to say Eldril over there could very easily be taken out, but now the Assassin coming in. And that's a fairly decent lockdown on the right half of the pitch.
All Reaper needs is for this next turn to go in his favor. One slip up, and boom, he's got it. This is...
Oh, but now the Quickie Boys, not nearly as locked down as they were. They've got tackle zones they'd have to move through in the center of the pitch, but...
Ooh. Well,
with the right kind of blocks, I think they could still pull it off. And now Fodder 5 is going to take down Talon. That is a block you do not want to make at this time. Fodder 5 is now free to move. Despite being so far away from the ball, he could make some kind of impact here.
This could go either way at this point. I don't know what to think. But they've only got one blitz in their pocket, so let's see how Eiley wants to play this. Only got one reroll, one blitz.
Unfortunately, I think Eiley is going to have to use this blitz to take down Banis. Banis does have dodge, so that'll make knocking him down harder. But if she can get... Oh, there go the two rerolls successfully, and now Urk most likely going to be going for this block. He has the movement that he can get around to the front of Banis to at least push him back if he's unsuccessful. But there
that reroll
is the reroll. And going
it.
to be successful on the second.
Oh, but the engagement's any further.
Nope. Okay, there was...
Oh,
right, Banis has dump off. That's what he was considering. But there is a Frenzy. Frenzy could secure this, and Frenzy does secure this. Both down.
So close.
There you go. There's the block, and the ball is loose.
So close.
And now the Dark Elves are going to have to spend their second turn rallying around the ball to try and get this one back in their favor. Fortunately, a lot of the blocks back in the center of the pitch do seem to favor the Dark Elves. But they're going to have to make sure that they really, really secure this. It is incredibly crucial that they get this touchdown before the half ends, because if they can get that, they will go into the second half 1-1 with the ball going to their team. And it looks like...
Getting another knockdown.
Ooh, a few more knockdowns going to come out onto the right side of the pitch. It's going to make it much harder for the Dark Elves to get to the positioning that they really need to be in to make an impact here.
Thing is, Bannis still has a chance. He's got very high agility. Pretty much, yeah, even higher than Skaven's. So if he gets up, grabs the ball, and then goes for it all the way to the end zone, he could, in theory, make it. And I think that they've got what it takes to do so.
Theoretically, he could. With the dodge and the 4 agility, he does have a decent chance of it, but that is a very, very Hail Mary play. He's got to do everything else that he possibly can to get this set up in his favor before he makes a play like that.
Oh man, this is a nail.
If he can land a good blitz onto Urk or Fodder 5, get them down, then that would free up Bannis to possibly make this play. There are a lot of rerolls left on the side of Dark Elves.
He gets knocked down. He won't get up again.
He's not stunned, so he will. Alright.
Well, let's see what he's doing.
I believe for Bannis to leave that square, that would... Wait, is he going for it?
I think he might be.
He might... I mean, he's...
Oh!
And he's got the pickup! Yeah! And there's the run, and we have ourselves a game of Blood Bowl.
Oh, that is the stuff Blood Bowl is made of!
And it is 1-1 going into, I believe, turn 6 for the Gnawhole Nibblers. They have 3 turns to secure another touchdown before the half and get this back in their favor.
Oh man, that was awesome! I think now's a quick time to bring up one of our sponsors.
Reaper, if you're watching, I am proud of you.
I think now's a good time to bring up one of our sponsors, Nintendo's new title. That's Nintendo's new title. I think they released Lizard Named Zelda, Skink's Awakening.
Anyway, that dodge was a 3-up roll, so definitely worth making there. Now, a good block would have made it a 2-up, and I do think that would have been... getting a good blitz in would have given him, I think, a 2-up if he had taken out one of the 2 players, and I think that would have been the better choice.
Oh boy.
We got a blitz. Naggarond's chosen school. They're going to have to isolate and eliminate one of these threats now to really make sure that... Oh, it's turn 7, not turn 6. My mistake. So there are only 2 turns available for the Skaven to make a play here. Now, Naggarond's chosen are very clearly trying to make a play onto the ball, but they've got to be careful and make sure that they don't leave too much of their own rear end of the field exposed. One Quickie Boy is sitting right up the center, and if he gets the open field for him, if he gets the right open field, we've seen him make 2-turn touchdowns in these situations.
Could you
At this point, it is Reaper's drive to lose.
Man, a 2-turn touchdown featuring Naggarond's chosen getting a second comeback. That'd be one hell of a thing. Oh, there goes the blitz.
Alright, the blitz not going to be successful. It looks like Kurthel still... Okay, no, that did end the blitz round. Okay, I wasn't entirely sure if it did or
me
not.
neither. But I guess you can't turn over an extra round.
I believe you still can. I don't know if Kurthel was not given the chance to move or what, but it looks like Fodder 5 was able to make the catch, which is very big here. And I think with the right blocks on the... Yeah, there's the ball going over to other Quickie Boy. With the right blocks, I think that other Quickie Boy could easily make his way halfway downfield, and then Reaper will have to respond to that. And he does not have the players in the back of the... on his end of the pitch to deal with it.
Well, the thing is, while the Skaven do have much higher movement speed, their agility is still lower than that of the Elves. So if he tries to duck and weave his way through this, I don't see that working very well. So he's probably going to have to cut around the enormous fight that could happen any second in the center pitch.
Well, I do think the Gutter Runners with their 4 agility, which, by the way, 4 agility is absolutely broken in Blood Bowl. I do think with that 4 agility, if there's only one space that Eiley has to dodge one of these players through, it's still very possible to pull off.
Whew. Well, I guess we're going to find out. Definitely thinking this through very carefully before making any moves.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like she's acutely aware that there's a lot on the line.
I've switched over my view to show from the visitor side, but as you can see, there is not much to cover this end of the pitch. Alright, it looks like Eileen's going to make the play onto the left end of the pitch. I believe that's where she's decided to take this.
Well, we're about to find out. Going for a blitz on the queen.
There's the blitz onto the Witch Elf. That's
One
going to take a pro reroll, but only going to get a dodge. So now it's going to be up to fodder 8 to clear that out.
Yep.
And I don't think he gets a strength buff without moving one Quickie Boy over there. Now other Quickie Boy making his way around the pitch.
Yep, just having to wind his way around the whole thing. Thought he would.
Yep, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. With 2 going for it, other Quickie Boy can score. But I believe the safer play would be to get one Quickie Boy out to receive. It looks like they're not going to go that route, just going to use him to cover.
Well, that Witch Elf is
I think that might be the smarter play for the time being. But unfortunately, Kurthel, with where he's been left behind, can very easily contest the ball. Dodge once again going to save this.
But now the Witch Elf's completely cut off from her teammates.
Yeah, she's probably not going to have a very large impact on the next few turns. But
If
I think with just Kurthel placed where he is, Kurthel himself can make a blitz onto other Quickie Boy, knock the ball loose, and then it's just a matter of does the ball go out of bounds and where do the fans put it back in play.
Oh, yeah.
We'll finally find out who the fans like the most. It is the Skaven home stadium, but fans can be picky.
This is true. Oh, we got another armor break on its way.
And that's going to be a stun, so he is not going to be, Talon not going to have an impact until turn 8, and with the ball on the other end of the pitch, he's basically out of the game.
If I were Reaper, I would do everything that I could to keep them from getting it to the end zone. You don't have to necessarily score, but there's only 2 turns left in the half. If you can survive it, then you can get a reset.
Absolutely, and then once again, the ball is going to be going to the Dark Elves on this in this second half, so the Gnawhole Nibblers not scoring is a victory for Reaper.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, he does have Bannis halfway down the field. The assassin going down, he's going to be stunned. Yeah, these 2 stuns are very, very big for the Nibblers, but really at this point...
Dodge saving his ass.
Dodge saving him. I've just gone, looking over how far each player can move, aside from doing a little bit of on-field surfing. Now, I don't mean crowd surfing, like sending someone off the pitch. I mean blocking someone in order to force them to go somewhere else.
Right.
Or blocking somebody so that you push them into another player and push that player an extra square.
He's going to want to get Glornan.
That kind of thing is the only way... Yeah, as long as this block goes out into one Quickie Boy...
There it goes.
The ball is going to get knocked loose. It looks like he's aiming to get it sent off the pitch, and there it goes.
Further into his own territory. So
it's going to go back onto his side. So the only way that I see... Okay. The Skaven can score here. What it would require is blocking someone and pushing them...
That's a reroll.
Blocking someone and pushing them into one Quickie Boy.
Is he doing what I think he's doing?
I don't know. I think he's just getting the ball as far away as he can.
Well, getting it over to the rat
at this point,
is slowing it down.
At this point, I wouldn't recommend him passing it. Although, if he does pass it towards the right end of the pitch, no one on that side of the pitch has the movement to get it in. So at that point, I think I would take that risk. Because even if the ball drops next to him, nobody else can get it anywhere. And it looks like he's going to pass it over to his star player.
He had Nerves of Steel.
Nerves of Steel going to help out there.
But now he's handed it to the player right in front of the Rat Ogre, the biggest, baddest member of the Skaven team. Makes me wonder what he's going to be doing.
Well, he is going to get away. Damn. He still has another turn after this. There is a chance he could score this if he plays it right. I don't think that he'll be able to. But, I mean, Reaper proved me wrong. And Mortran's going to be KO'd. Just a knockdown onto... Just a knockdown onto the lineman, so I believe...
I think as of this point, it's safe to say that they're not going to need to worry about the Skaven scoring. But now it seems like, if all goes well, Reaper could surprise everyone in this stadium with a second point right before the end of the half.
I don't believe that he will be able to get that second touchdown, but he is going to prevent a second touchdown from the Nibblers, and that is the most important thing for him this drive.
Most definitely.
And Eldril being surrounded, Eiley not wasting any time going for this.
Well, we're about to see. I wonder who's going to take him down. If it's going to be the Rat Ogre, or if it's
Reaper needs to hope for double skulls.
Here we go. Ooh, that ain't happening.
There's the knockdown. The ball is loose.
Ball's loose, but not in any...
Not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. At this point, it looks like the only thing that you could do is try knocking Dark Elves down and see who stays down.
The Witch Elf right now would be a 2-die block, and I think that's probably where he should start. Oh, he is going to pick the ball up. Is he going to try and make a Hail Mary over to one Quickie Boy?
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
I mean, one Quickie Boy still can't make the run.
True. So at this point, it's just a matter of can it be done.
And Pro Reroll coming out.
Getting the
Still no knockdown. Dodge going to keep the Witch Elf up once again.
Yep. Took a while for that to come out. I don't know why.
Every now and then it takes a little bit of extra time for some reason.
Hmm.
Alright. So, I think that Eiley should go for a serve on Banis here.
For all we know, it
It would be very difficult to get someone over to that position now with where the Witch Elf has been pushed to. The Witch Elf, I think, should have been pushed to one of the for those watching over here, but I think the Witch Elf should have been pushed between 4 and 8 to free up a spot for one of the linemen to make a blitz onto Banis and try and surf him. Instead, we are going to see a foul onto the Assassin Fearcaller. And just a stun. So nothing will come of that. And now I don't think the Skaven are going to be able to make any more of an impact on the game this turn, except for a blitz. A blitz onto the Witch Elf from Urk could result in a surf. But it looks like they're not going to go that route. I don't know where he's going.
Oh boy, this is...
Oh, okay, just trying to keep... Just keeping one Quickie Boy safe, I think, is the play there.
Yeah.
Just trying not to lose a player.
Running out of people to move. Here we go.
That's going to be the turn. So Naggarond's chosen, just looking to make a little bit of an impact before this half ends. But so far from the first half, we've seen some very, very fast-scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, this is by no means a boring game of Blood Bowl. I'm happy to be able to cast it.
Now, what it's going to come down to is whoever makes the misplay first is very likely going to lose that current drive. And there's the foul right in the Skaven cheese.
Ugh.
And that's actually way more disgusting than I thought it was when I started saying it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that this game is going to come down to whoever misplays first isn't going to win that drive. And given that this league is a lot of players who are new to the game, I think that there are going to be a couple more of those misplays before the game ends. So, probably going to be one of our higher scoring games. Now, bear in mind, because we are playing in a tournament format, this game will not, because we are playing in an elimination format, this game is not going to end on a tie. It cannot and will not. Yep. So if these players have a second half akin to the first, we will see an overtime set. And I think at that point it's going to come down to whoever the ball is kicked to.
Yep.
We're going to have to see both of these teams really step it up on defense. Now, granted, the Naggaronds really stepped up their defense for this second drive. but they're going to have to do a lot more work with it if they want a chance to win if this game goes to overtime. But now we're moving over to the half.
There it is.
So
halftime.
we are going to head down to the field and speak with the coaches.
Yes, sir.
All right. How are you two feeling, Eiley? How are you feeling? Getting that first like three-turn touchdown.
Felt pretty good. Just kind of looking to smash more people's skulls, and I guess I'm the beatdown here.
Well,
I guess I'm just the beatdown here.
Well, how about we ask the question of the hour to the man of the hour, Reaper? How did it feel for that touchdown to come off?
It was quite hilarious. I love playing a high agility team because it's like he had 2 people on him. That's a 2-up dodge.
That's still a 2-up.
That was actually when I checked over through the record, it was a 3-up. You rolled a 2. Yeah, you rolled a. It was a 3-up, I believe. Unless I was looking at the wrong dodge.
No, it was a 2-up.
It was a 2-up.
It was a 2-up. Okay, so even more guaranteed than I thought.
Let me tell you something. I slammed my desk and shouted "yes" when that happened. That was awesome.
That was pretty great.
And that was a very good defense coming out from you at the end. And Eiley, you weren't able to get a touchdown towards the end of that second half, but I mean, very, very stressful to try and pull something like that off so quickly. So both of you are giving us a wonderful game. We're thoroughly enjoying this. Now remember, this game, if it ends in a tie, it goes to overtime.
Yep. There can
What
only
if
be
that
one.
ends in a tie, though?
Then it keeps going. I don't know.
Overtime.
If in overtime the first person to score wins.
Yes, but what if no? Oh wait, right.
If nobody scores, then I guess it keeps going.
Pretty sure.
Just
Reaper, let's break the game.
It's just every 8 turns there's a new kickoff. But we are thoroughly looking forward to the continuation of the game, and we will head back up to the booth to continue casting. We look forward to what you have in store for us.
Yeah. Oh no!
All right, well, I heard a loud "oh no" as this started up. Oh, and it looks like the pass is not going to be successful.
Fun fact. I heard a rumor that the reason why Blood Bowl games only last 16 turns is because any longer than that without a single drop of blood being dropped and an entire stadium full of fans will riot.
I'm pretty sure if there's 16 turns and no blood drops and the game ends, the stadium will riot.
I've seen things. Let's just say you're not my first casting partner. And you probably won't be the last.
Okay, back to the game. So... I'm not sure entirely why Fodder was moved in like that. I would imagine he would have wanted to move one Quickie Boy up adjacent and then get the blitz in from Fodder 4, but I guess he's looking for a blitz from somebody else. I'm just not really sure who. And it looks like they're forming a cage around the ball just in case the drop fails, so I guess Eiley is going to try and make this pickup. But right next to one of the Witch Elves, I don't recommend that. I really don't.
Yeah, well, risky maneuvers seem to be a huge thing this game.
Yeah. Both of them have been leaning on the dice, perhaps a little bit too much. Oh, and there's Wild Animal going to fail. I would not recommend a reroll there. Looks like
for the
so.
poor bastard who has to feed him.
So Reaper has already spent a reroll trying to get that pass to work. And the ball getting knocked loose this early is incredibly detrimental to him. The fact that the ball is loose on his side of the pitch against such a quick team.
Yeah.
Eiley needs to play this right. Because if this goes wrong, there are a lot of Dark Elves around to get that pickup.
Yeah, they're still set in formation, and getting them in really quick to do something about that could happen with very little struggle, but oh boy.
And it looks like Eldril's dodge going to keep him safe again. Still no blitz been declared by the Skaven. I think he's trying to free up space to get Hot Grinder Profile to make a blitz onto the Witch Elf. But Hot Grinder Profile already moved, so actually, no, never mind. I think at this point... Well, there goes other Quickie Boy.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, I really don't know what to say right now. I'm just kind of waiting for something to happen.
It just really looks like the the blocks on the line did not come out where they needed to be.
Oh boy!
And as a result of that, they're gonna need to reroll onto this pickup. Now the ball is surrounded by Skaven, so it is in a favorable spot for them, but it is definitely somewhere that the Dark Elves can put quite a bit of pressure on.
Well, there's 5 Skaven around the ball.
There's the blitz already. Excuse me, jeez.
That's no problem.
there's the blitz already coming out onto fodder 4.
He gets knocked down. Hopefully he stays down. Why would he get
No,
up?
he's gonna get up. But and it looks like he's trying to knock the ball loose. That's not a reroll worth making. Oh, with Pro, then sure, yeah, whatever. Pro, go ahead. Oh, and he gets the catch! And the ball is in the hands of the Skaven. There are no blitzes left for
Oh boy.
the Dark Elves, so all that's left is to try and put as much pressure on, because there is no way to knock that loose. I'm sure Reaper, in hindsight, wishing he had not pushed the one quickie boy back onto the ball. But to try and like be fair about it, pushing the ball aside may have been the right play. The only reason that this failed is because it went to the lineman that had the Pro option.
Mm-hmm.
If he had not gotten Pro and made that second successful roll, that would have been a good play in the favor of Reaper, because wherever the ball went from that point likely would have been somewhere that favored the Dark Elves.
Oh, and there's another armor break. That's a knockout.
Armor break on as a KO onto Handig, but also Reaper may have considered the many possible successes, but the one possible failure that could have come through, I don't think he considered quite enough when he was going for that block. For someone who believes that,
There's the knockdown.
wisely not going to spend that reroll, probably not necessary to spend here. The most notable thing to come out of this, though, is that the Skaven have the ball on a kickoff to the Dark Elves.
Oh, here comes the rat ogre.
The Dark Elves are not going to get another kickoff to go to them until we get into the next half.
Undeath being lucky
If that happens.
laid out on the ground right now. But Frenzy coming in.
And
There.
Frenzy still not going to be enough for the knockdown, but now the Rat Ogre is going to have a lot of Dark Elves held back. Now it looks like what's going to happen is Fodder 3 is going to have to make the block against Fearcaller to push the Assassin away himself, and I'm not entirely sure he is equipped for that. So there's the stand-up. I believe Fodder 5 needs to take down Mortran. Urk needs to take down Bethlane so that Fodder 1 can get into position to give Fodder 3 that that 2-die advantage if he is going to get Fearcaller off of him.
This is the most intense, complicated fight that I've seen in Blood Bowl. Everyone's just standing in such strategic positions right now.
Well, for the time being, it is a little bit of a cluster. I'm not entirely sure these are the most advantageous places for each of the players to be. It looks like a handoff going back to other Quickie Boy. That is a very good play. I do like getting the ball back a little bit further away from the Dark Elves. Now he's just got to make either the right run or the right block to make space. He does not have the right half of the pitch at his disposal, as there are 3 Dark Elves currently sitting over there with Old Blind Rat.
Well, I guess we're gonna see what Eiley does to try and clear up the field.
Here comes the 2-die blocks. Not going to stay on that one. Gonna just try and keep Mortran under pressure. Now here's Fodder making his way around right to the edge of the pitch. It looks like he's gonna try and knock this Witch Elf down once and for all. Aside from creating that bonus, I don't think that was the best play to go with. Oh, and there's going to be the knockdown. Oh, and with guard on hot grinder profile, he didn't even have. I don't even think he had to move Fodder 1 over there.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the move, the one that's going to decide it.
Well, I think the move that could decide it right here
Oh, boy.
Bethlane and Fearcaller are the only two players really preventing other Quickie Boy from making his push downfield. He could make a push downfield right here now along the left side, but the lineman Glornane is still in a position that he could do something about it, and it looks like he's just going to try and get himself back into a cage to set up a more defensible position, and I think that is a smarter play for him. And now here's Urk going for that block, and he's going to get the knockdown.
All right, useful.
And now Fearcaller not in the best place. This turning into a bit of a standstill. Unfortunately for Naggarond's Chosen, when they get their turn back, Hot Grinder Profile is going to make it very difficult to push back in and create pressure on the ball carrier. What they really need is for Fearcaller to get a good stab onto Hot Grinder Profile, but that's a 9-up roll. I don't think that's going to be successful if they make that attempt.
Looks like Eiley's plan here is to get him into a cage, carve their way through, and then as soon as there's an opening, send one of the Skaven and just barrel out there. I don't see a throw strategy being a good idea, but I could very well see other Quickie Boy managing to just slither his way through and make it into the end zone.
I do think the only possibility of a pass would be if one Quickie Boy got an opening. This is the big advantage of the Gutter Runners. The fact that either one of them could get an opening and get into a position where they can catch the... one Quickie Boy, if he gets an opening, gets out where he needs to be to catch a pass. Other Quickie Boy, if he gets the opening, gets out onto the other end of the field. And this is what the Naggarond's Chosen are really up against, is the fact that almost any opening that comes up, the Skaven are the most equipped to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. Whew, I think that's what's going to make this one of the most intense games. Once again, that assassin failing a stab.
And thankfully for Naggarond's Chosen, that is going to be a successful block. There is a little more pressure on the on the ball carrier, but Hot Grinder Profile can easily... Oh, wait, now we're seeing a blitz coming around the backside.
Oh, there it is.
That is the knockdown.
Defender down. Even moving the Rat Ogre. Oh, and an armor break to couple with it, and there's the knockout.
A KO onto other Quickie Boy.
Sheesh.
That entire sequence, huge play. Pro is not going to succeed, and it looks like Eldril has the ball.
And they're all right behind him.
Now, he still has a reroll for this turn. He does have dodge on Eldril. I would consider making that run, but it looks like Reaper wants to get himself set up.
Yeah, getting more focused on getting some of his allies over there just in case, well, in the event of what will be a chase. All right, getting the defender stumble.
Wow, a surprisingly good roll. I would not have personally made that roll unless Catalil was giving a buff there, but it is working out in his favor. Very, very lucky of him.
In my experience in Blood Bowl, 1v1s against almost any standard unit, no matter the team, tends to be an okay bet, but yeah.
Whoa. That was a 6-up dodge. That was really dumb, but it worked.
Yeah.
Reaper, if you're watching, don't do that again. I swear to God, if you do that, and if you win this and you go to the finals and I see you do that, either me or Dylan, whoever's against you, is going to beat you to a pulp.
I mean, personally, I think that was a great move. I think it's great because he succeeded.
The fact that it worked made it good. The attempt was bad.
Isn't that all things brave? Isn't that all things brave, Ben?
There's a difference between brave and stupid, Dylan.
Well, yeah, but the outcome can be brave.
See, this is why I'm first seed and you're fourth seed.
This is why... Enough philosophy. We're here to watch people maim each other over a ball.
And, the shadowing, it looks...
Oh! If there was ever a time for a reroll, this is
F's in chat. The lone... Oh, my lord.
Oh, my Lanta.
This is going in the favor of Naggarond. Naggaronds have a chance to win this now. From this position, a good push downfield. they could force the Skaven into a very, very awkward scoring position.
This would be a hell of a way for the Naggarond's chosen.
Is he just going for it? He's just going for it.
He is just going for it.
It's a 2-up. The star player, Eldril,
Living
proving
up to
to
his
be
title.
extremely useful. I guess Reaper should be happy that Eiley took one of his players out for this game and gave him that opening. And we might see a surf here. Nope.
Ooh, nope. Oh, and
Gonna
then
make the reroll. I think the
and there
reroll
it
is the good. I think the reroll is the right choice there. And there is the knockdown and the surf.
Jesus, I think I saw a claw fly up by our window.
And right now, Kurthel actually could surf fodder 1. Might want to give him... No, there's no way to give him a 2-die roll, so I don't know if that's the best idea to make, because he is keeping Old Blind Rat and fodder 1
Yeah, I
from
think it's
doing
best
anything.
Probably
Now,
better just
Urk...
to leave them as they are.
Now, at this point, you definitely want to be making favorable blocks, like Talon into one Quickie Boy is very possible. Okay, yeah, stab. Might as well.
Well,
And
another
now
stab.
there's the knockdown. He's going to want to send that into Mortran. He really should not be sending any of these Skaven into free space, but he's going to do it. So now he definitely needs to land a few good blocks to get himself back in position to cover all of this. And he's pushing fodder 3 closer to the ball.
I would definitely use the 2 side units, Bethlane and Ridar. Get them up, move them around, and have them cover the rear. At least make it harder for the Skaven to get moving. But knocking, okay, successfully managing this, knocking another one back in.
That's a little bit of a better play, and he still has a blitz that he can use.
Now we can move Kadil back there and hopefully create a good block. Yeah, there we go.
That's much better. Okay. He still has the blitz. It looks like he's not going to use it though. Bethlane really could be making a blitz in one of those Skaven, but this is keeping them secured.
I gotta say, this is the strategy that Reaper has.
And now we've got a foul on the Rat Ogre.
Ooh! Yikes.
That looked like it hurt, but he's gonna shrug it off, just barely avoiding. That was an 8-up roll, and that was a 7 on the roll. Jeez. 1 higher, and that would have been an armor break.
1 higher.
But now
might not be coming back from that.
Yeah, the grinder profile would be a little less hot.
Yep.
So, looks like now the Skaven... are forced into a defensive position. And at this point, if I'm Reaper, if this next play goes in favor of my team, I would be considering dragging this out a little bit. The Skaven can score very, very quickly.
This is true.
Keeping the ball in your favor for a little bit longer might be the best way to secure a victory here. There are 4 turns left, and the Skaven can definitely score at least once in those 4 turns and force this into an overtime.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess we're about to see.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see the first block come out.
Fodder 4 getting Kedleal to get knocked back a little bit, opening up a bit more room.
Not opening up nearly as much as necessary, unfortunately.
This is where
the Skaven are really locked in. This is a very good spot for Reaper to have set up all of his units. The only one who can get anywhere close to the ball carrier is fodder 5, and it would take quite a few rolls for him to actually get a tackle zone on him and try to get a knockdown. But that would almost just not be worth it. With dodge and a 2-up roll, Eldril can still get away from that.
Whew, this is intense. This is intense.
I think that this game, or at least this drive, is going to be a win for the Naggaronds. So it's going to be up to the Skaven to set an even score going into this next drive. I think at this point, if I'm Eiley, I'm trying to keep a couple of these Dark Elves off the pitch. I don't believe there is one backup runner for Reaper. So KOs and injuries aren't going to do a whole lot. But yeah, I don't think there's any way to...
Oh, finally making a move, managing to successfully slither away, getting to Eldril, not blitzing.
No blitz.
Ooh,
but...
and I don't... Yeah, that's the last reroll of the half, so anything else after the... And there it is again, tripping him up anyway. Well, there goes that turn. Fodder 1, knocked out, and there he is. All he's gonna have to do is for Sidewinder to clear 1. And it seems like, given the way things are, I think Reaper's just gonna take him right to the end zone.
I do think that's the way Reaper will do it.
Yep.
Hopefully he doesn't. Yeah, he's not going to fail it, and there's going to be.
Off.
That's a touchdown. It is now 2-1, favoring Naggaronds. He just has to secure 1 more drive. He needs to defend as well as he defended at the end of the last half. If he can do that, this game is his.
Oh, all
other
3
Quickie
of the
boy,
Skaven up and running.
Other Quickie boys back. That is very, very big for the Skaven with how little time they have to score.
Mm-hmm.
I think, honestly, that Eiley can and likely will score in the next 4 turns.
I think it's possible, which means we
I
may
would be
looking
willing
at overtime.
to bet that this game will go to overtime.
Whew. Well, I suppose we're about to find out. We don't know what the halftime event, the kickoff event is, and for all we know, that could change the game entirely.
You know what? We're going into... You and I are going to be doing the Modern Warfare open beta after this.
Yep.
If there is no touchdown in the next 4 turns, you can decide all of my loadouts.
Okay.
I'm willing to... I'm staking all my loadouts on Eiley scoring within the next 4 turns. I believe in Eiley. I believe in her ability to do that well with this Skaven team.
Oh, it's not that
She would probably tell me I'm an idiot if she heard me saying that, but I still believe it.
Well,
I'm putting my faith in you. You got this.
It ain't that I don't doubt it. It's just, given the way things are shaking out, and given the fact that Naggarond's chosen to now set up their own defensive line while they have to sit there and do nothing. Whew.
And that is a very far kick. Handeg's going to have to get that and send it to one of the gutter runners. Looks like he's going to set up a little cage in the back end of the pitch. God, when you click on... Every now and then I click on a Skaven player, and I'm like, shouldn't I be able to see their movement? And then I realize that their movement takes up almost the entire field.
Yeah. I try and look close at a Skaven, and I'm like, hey, shouldn't there be a Skaven here? And instead all I see is just a bunch of flies. Well,
and there's the pass to one Quickie boy, so the Skaven have the ball in their control. Now it's a matter of breaking these defensive lines. And right now I think the Dark Elves are set up in a very good position for dealing with the Skaven specifically, but it's a question of can they maintain that kind of positioning, because Reaper has a habit of piling in when this team that he's playing I don't think is necessarily made to pile in like that.
Here comes the frenzy.
And it looks like Eiley is very upset at Eldril for scoring that. And the Rat Ogre now pushed in fairly far. There is actually an opening, like a small opening in the right side of the pitch. Actually, not. No, not really. Never mind. I was going to say there's an opening in the right side of the pitch for the Dark Elves, but there's a lot of tackle zones in there, so I don't think they can really get through that.
Oh, jeez. All right, I'll be right back quick. I see a hot dog vendor with my literal name on it. Thank you, by the way, goblins. So, BRB.
Oh, I want a hot dog.
You want one? I can get you one.
I'd love a hot dog.
Horseradish? What do you want on it?
Some mustard.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Hey, right. Yeah, you!
There is no keeping him in this booth when there are hot dogs to get. So, looks like Eiley's going to be setting up to take out the assassin on the left side of the pitch. And now a lot of the pitch actually in the favor of the Skaven making a push. There's a KO onto the assassin, so the numbers advantage already going the way of the Skaven for this drive. And I think the next play, I don't think Fodder 2 should go give a buff to fighting Bethlehem. Yeah. That is a lucky 1 die, but it does pay off.
Okay, I'm back. Here's your hot dog.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. He was a little antsy when he saw me. Probably because I shouted my name.
Well, you just shout and he turns his arm around and sees his name and sees the name tattooed on himself.
Yep. That was the effect.
Is it tattooed or stitched?
I believe it was stitched. I paid them to stitch it onto his back anyway.
Oh, and it's on his back? Oh, he can't see it then.
Oh, no. I'm pretty sure he saw it in the morning.
My question now is, did they do it through the clothes?
You know, they asked me
Is it
that.
like just like a permanent jersey?
You know, they asked me whether or not I should do it through the clothes, and I said, you're the professionals, so it could be either one.
All right. Well, anyway, it looks like Hot Grinder Profile is going to be knocked. Oh! Hot Grinder Profile
Bigger they are.
loses a
Loses a
point in
point of
strength.
Ooh,
The Apothecary, yes, needs to come out here.
And there it is. Okay.
There's the no casualty. So Hot Grinder Profile just going to go over to the sidelines.
I mean, even then, that's still a bit of a loss. That Rat Ogre no longer on the field.
It is definitely a huge loss for the drive, but thankfully not going to impact
Any
the Gnawhole Nibblers' chances in the finals if they make it, or in the following season.
As somebody with an injured flesh golem on his team, I gotta say, a big, slow guy like that, if his agility is damaged, fine. They're hardly using it. But if the strength is damaged, oh, that's not good. That is a player that you just put on the bench until you can get a replacement. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, that's a player you sell so you can get a lot of inducements.
Yep.
Get that halfling master chef. Cook up the ogre. I don't care. So it looks...
What, you never had Skaven tail stew?
Alright, so it looks like we're gonna get a... It looks like Reaper is going to control the left side of the pitch fairly well.
Ooh, and there's the knockdown on both ends. Both players now without any rerolls.
Both coaches are out of rerolls, and that double knockdown does favor the Skaven because it does create an opening for them to move through. The question is whether or not they can deal with Eldril and Eldril on this turn, and I frankly think that they will be able to. If Handeg goes for the blitz, he does have... Or actually, if Fodder 5 goes for the blitz, then Fodder 2 is currently giving a strength bonus. And that would make it fairly easy to get the positioning right, but it looks like he wants to move towards the center of the pitch instead. I can't blame him for that choice.
Yeah.
Even if he got along the right side of the pitch, there are a lot of free Dark Elves with no coverage that could go and do something about that.
Looks like Eiley's working to clear out the center line. They've already got a pretty clear opening to get the ball carrier through to the other side of the pitch. Just on one turn, I might add. And it looks like Eiley's setting it up so that any people who would go to intercept and chase after him would have to go through at least one block in order to go, so...
That is usually one of the better things to do with that.
Well, it looks like
I'm
your
starting to
loadout's
think
maybe in
Fodder
your hands.
2... Fodder 2 might get left behind with Eldril just to keep him from going anywhere, but Eldril has 2-ups on every single dodge. So it's a question of can Reaper...
making it...
Oh?
Yep, that's what I thought that Eiley was going to do, but
I
thought that they'd make it further.
I thought that Eiley would have stopped a little before the line of scrimmage, back where there's at least some semblance of a cage. That's a very exposed ball carrier.
Well, this is a Hail Mary play if there ever was one. I think Eiley's just relying on the ball carriers for agility.
Yeah, but I think it's coming a little bit too soon. This is a play that should be coming out probably on turn 15 when a little bit more setup is done.
Well,
Just if you look to the left side of the pitch, it is even in terms of who is where, but once you get the assassin on his feet...
Yep, that becomes a 4v3, and then that leaves the opportunity for at least one of them to break away and deal a blitz. Having the extra Skaven there, a good advantage. Having 2 extra Skavens there, an even better one, I might say. Oh, makes
and
that...
Wow. A lot of these dodges going in the favor of Eiley, fortunately for her. That is going to put things in a much better position for the Skaven, and I'm feeling a lot more confident about betting my loadouts on Eiley making this 4-turn touchdown.
But I wanted you to run around with a rocket launcher and the shittiest pistol.
I'll still do that.
Dibs on the throwing knife.
I'll do that in 2v2. Try to compensate for me. All right, so now I think you leave it here. I don't think it's worth having old Blind Rat try to make a 1-die block or try to move around.
Honestly, the odds of losing that, if you
Although,
fail that, then that is not good.
To be fair,
Oh,
okay.
there
Well,
it is.
it is going to be a successful dodge, and that's going to keep the ball a little more secure.
A fully
There-
supported move up.
See, now the problem that I'm seeing is that with one block from Kurthel or Ridar onto fodder 4 near the right side of the inner pitch, now Tellen's free, and Tellen can blitz one Quickie Boy, and with a few Dark Elves in the right spots, that will still be a 2-die, because one Quickie Boy only has 2 strength.
Quickie boy. Quickie.
So I think this effort to get downfield as fast as possible is and set up that cage.
It's paying
With the
off.
cage not being... I don't think it will. With the cage set up the way it is, there is an opening for one of the Dark Elves to get a 2-die block on the ball carrier. So
True.
hopefully Dodge will make that save for him, or for her.
Oh, there's another armor block. Well, break.
Break. There's going to be the stun. Yeah, I think if you just take one of the either Endaith the Witch Elf or Glorny the Lineman and just stick them over right next to other Quickie Boy and Fodder 8, then you just have a free blitz. If you're looking where I'm looking, you see where the Naggarond's logo is?
Yep.
There's a corner of the cage right there that's left open, and I think that would be a fairly easy location to blitz. Kurthel would go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he has the movement to make that blitz, but no, the blitz is going to instead come out onto fodder 8.
Huh.
And I think that is a...
It's an opening. It is indeed an opening.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's going to mean the assassin will be prone to getting knocked away very easily, and I think that play works more in the favor of the Skaven than the Dark Elves.
Well, at least the witch made the going for it roll. Both of them.
Yeah, but that positioning is really not going to stop much of anything. Other Quickie Boy could score next turn with the right rolls, but I don't think that this late in the game you want to make rolls like that when you're using your last chance to score.
Well, it seems like Eiley made a risky proposition setting up this cage in the first place, and Reaper is responding with an equally risky proposition on how to deal with
I'd
it.
say more risky. I think that there is a very easy way that Reaper could have taken advantage of that positioning.
Well, geez,
But
Sidewinder.
he just didn't do it.
Yeah, well, Sidewinder pulling in, getting up to the rear of that entire cage. They've got a decent amount surrounding it. Oh, and there's the trip up. Well,
And there's going to be the end of the turn, and I think this is going to go in the favor of the Skaven.
assuming that they just make a straight beeline for it. Oh, wait, are they going for a throw for superstar points?
Not that far a throw. One Quickie Boy has the movement allowance that he can get over and hand off the ball. Or just run it in.
Or there's the touchdown.
And there it is. And it is now 2-2.
Jeez.
The game is all tied up with 2 turns left. So unless someone can score, we are going into overtime.
Love that jingle. Where are the trumpets anyway? I always hear that halftime, that scoring music, but I never see any orchestra or anything.
I'm pretty sure that they're well hidden. If you mess up on that orchestra, you've got a lot of angry, and
Well, it seems like...
ear pain-filled fans coming after you.
Well, I know a guy who works in the beer distribution department of this stadium, and let me tell you something. He said there are 2 types of overtimes. The happy drunk overtimes and the overtimes that you talk about when you talk about the bad overtimes.
Well, the fastest player on the Dark Elf team is Eldril with 8 movement. That is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With 2 going for it, he is still 3 spaces short. So a good deal of surfing would be required to actually make this last turn touchdown. I think that the play at this point is just to
Oh boy, perfect
go in
defense.
defense.
Well, this is starting out already in the Gnawhole Nibblers' favor.
It looks like we're going to see the second half end in a draw, and we're going to be going to overtime.
Well, maybe.
We absolutely will. I don't believe that either team could. Both teams have potential to one-turn score, but the Dark Elves not not without a lot of maneuvering, that they just don't have a pitch that allows them to create.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for the Skaven, just their fastest players aren't on the pitch.
Oh, there's
are
the armor
not on the
break.
line.
Fodder 5, stunned.
Just going to see a stun. I think we're going to see a lot of blocks in these last turns.
I mean,
As each player tries to each coach will try to put themselves in a favorable position going into.
to be completely fair, the Naggarond's Chosen do have an opening here.
Now, I will say, I had mentioned earlier this game, I thought that because of the tie
Wait,
from their...
I don't understand it, but it worked.
SPP.
Ah, yes.
That's the only thing I can see for it, because the Witch Elf can't make it there. But, as I'd said earlier this game, I thought that Eiley had a very clear victory here.
Wow.
Is he forgetting the turn counter? Does he think it's turn 15?
I don't think so.
Unless I guess he's trying to give it to a player he can keep safe, but he should have kept it with the Witch Elf then.
I mean, well, either way, I guess we're about to find out what his strategy was.
Also, IRL, it's about 7:30. The game, the new game for this week premieres in half an hour.
Yep.
So, let's see if these guys can finish before the game premieres. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. And there's another armor break. Jeez.
And unfortunately, just a stun again, and it looks like there's no other blocks for the Dark Elves to make, so that's going to be the last bit of damage that they can do before this half ends. Except for a foul.
Oh, and another... There's the foul.
But nothing comes of the foul.
Jeez.
So it looks like that's going to be the end of this turn for the Naggarond's Chosen.
Or perhaps not.
Well, they have no more fouls. They're just moving into position at this point.
Yep.
And I don't see any way for the Skaven to score here. They did not set themselves up in a position to make a one-turn touchdown, which is unfortunate because I think if they had, they might have been able to.
I suppose. Even still, this is one of the most, if not the most, riveting games of Blood Bowl that I've seen.
We've had ties we've covered before, but this, in the playoffs, when it leads into overtime, that just escalates it so much.
This definitely feels like playoffs.
Yeah, it's very clear why these teams are second and third seed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, our league doesn't have an extreme amount of experience, so I'm sure you could find plenty of flaws in the way it's being played. But within our league, they're doing a wonderful job showing how they managed to get here.
An exceptional job.
Pitch is a bit of a mess right now, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's Blood Bowl, so...
Well, I meant besides the blood.
Oh. Well,
I meant the blood still in the people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's all over the place. I don't know what's going on. All right, we got a stumble. Or the pro
the
roll
pro-
going for the takedown.
And he's going to actually get the knockdown this time. So, just no armor break there, unfortunately. I really think Hot Grinder Profile needs to make a hit onto Banus. If Banus gets taken out, then that is a very, very big part of the Dark Elf team.
Rat Ogre moving in. Going right for the ball carrier. Hot Grinder Profile.
No, he's going for the Witch Elf.
Oh.
He wants that Witch Elf off the pitch, but he's not going to get it.
Sadly, no.
She is a tough one to take down.
Yep.
So I see one more available block just onto Cadlil, the Blitzer. Do neither of them know what turn it is?
I guess they're assuming that you just go into overtime.
Oh, yeah. They probably don't know there's a kickoff for overtime.
Well, we're about to find out.
Well, they're about to find out. I've gone into overtime. I went into overtime against you during one of our practice games back when we started playing this game.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you won.
Well, maybe I'm setting a precedent. Oh!
And there is an injury on to Cadlil. Ooh, that is a useless blitzer. Send him to the pit.
Ugh, sorry, Cadwell.
I don't see much use in keeping him. And that's going to be the last block of the half, or the last block of the regular game.
Overtime, bitches!
Overtime begins.
Alright.
Alright, let's go talk to the coaches real quick.
For a hot second,
Here we go!
Continue.
Welcome to overtime. No, it does not just continue. We have a kickoff, and here's the flip.
Mm-hmm.
I won the toss again.
There you go.
Good for you. So how are you guys feeling being in overtime?
This is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you guys tied last week, and for all intents and purposes, you would have tied again as a result of this, so it's just coming down to who can make that first touchdown.
Yeah.
Also, thank you for scoring, by the way, Eiley. Dylan and I are going to play the open beta for Modern Warfare, and I bet... I told him that if you didn't score in those 4 turns, he was allowed to make all of my loadouts for me.
I wanted to give him a rocket launcher and a shitty pistol. Now it seems like he's doing that anyway.
Victory?
No, now... But, so... I was confident in you making that score. I had faith in you.
I had faith too, it's just... Well,
honestly,
after that defense.
what I was hoping would happen was the shadowing would kick in.
He knocked my guy down.
And just trip him.
That would have been beautiful.
Just, like, shadow him the entire way down the pitch.
Wow.
Trip him in the end zone.
I have had that happen before. I have had somebody get shadowed all the way across the field.
That would have been
I mean,
hysterical.
if you could have managed that against the gutter runners, who have 3 more movement than your assassin, that would have been very, very funny to watch.
Can they make a going for it in that?
I'm not sure if... I don't think they have to make any. You have to make the going for it, but the
They
assassin
just
doesn't have to
do
do
it.
anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's
interesting. Okay.
So they roll. It's 2 dice, and then you add the other player's the person you're shadowing's movement, and subtract your own movement. And if you get below 7, then you shadow.
Holy shit. Okay.
boy. Well,
All right. Looks like you get another defense, so we're gonna head back up to the booth and let you get that set up. But
we're gonna
best
run.
of luck to both of you. Now remember, just to make sure, because neither of you knew how this worked ahead of time, first to score wins. The game will end immediately upon the next
So
touchdown.
it's like college football.
pretty much.
Exactly. So,
Wait.
best of luck to both of you.
Wait, what's football?
Anyway, that's the funny thing is that's if you told me that wasn't part of a bit, I would totally believe you didn't know what football was.
Wow. Hot dog.
All right.
Yes,
That's
5,
how you-
please.
That's how you ruin the bit. Anyway.
All right.
All right.
So let's head up to the booth. We'll see you guys after the game.
Yeah, let's
See ya.
go.
Hot
All
dog.
right.
Hot dog vendor, yes. 5, please. I need to eat my feelings.
Oh, the ball gonna bounce into the hands of Kurthel. That's gonna be in the advantage of the Naggarond's chosen. And no, I know you know what football is. We've talked about it a little bit.
I know that you know that I know what football is. I just wanted to make a joke.
It was funny.
Thank you.
All right. So, gonna be a lot of slow turns probably in this final overtime. Both teams gonna have to take this very seriously because not only is it a chance to continue on to the playoffs, but
Any slip
After
up could
this-
be the end of it.
or not the playoffs, the finals. Not only can any slip be the end of it, but the finals are another chance to level your players just a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really one of the things that they are playing for here. It's not something to be taken lightly because we are going to be playing 6 seasons with these teams and our minors teams. The minors teams will like rotate in depending how well they do, and we'll announce which teams are getting into the majors once we do when we do the casting for the minors championship.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we'll do that casting soon because that has to come out in like 3 weeks.
Okay.
Or like 1 month from today, I think. No, yeah, 1 month from today. 4 weeks from today. I don't know.
You know, some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
When I get around to it.
All right.
But
Dark Elves getting a really good shot starting out early with a couple of knockdowns. They've got the entire left flank at their disposal. If they capitalize on this properly, they could, within 1 or 2 turns, get a score and just end this.
the right side of the pitch is looking very favorable to them. The Skaven have to play very reactive to this now. So the more players get locked up by the Dark Elves, the better that the game is going to go for them. And it looks like they are setting up a decent amount of forced dodges in the center of the pitch, but not going to be a whole lot of favorable blocks. That stab has just not been landing today.
Yeah, he might have brought in his dulled knife by accident.
Well, he also has been making a lot of these rolls against the 8 armor Storm Vermin instead of the 7 armor Lineman. I think that things would favor him a little bit more if he did that, but he's going to get 2 very lucky rolls here.
Oof.
Get some knockdowns. He does have a tackle zone on Hot Grinder Profile, which is very big. Hot Grinder Profile, in case you haven't noticed, Hot Grinder Profile has break tackle. So strength is used instead of agility for a dodge once per turn. Which means that he can dodge his way into a cage.
Yep.
With his 5 strength. And right now he doesn't even need to dodge. But he would have to dodge to get away from Ridar. But after that 1 dodge roll, he's free and clear, and he can make a 2-die block onto the runner. And at this point, as much as setting up safe would benefit him, getting the ball loose would be huge this early in the game, this early in overtime. I'm fully expecting to see, by the end of this turn, Fodder 2 make a block onto Ridar. I think he's going to have to do it, but right now he is setting up just in case that fails. There's the block.
Ooh, he's
and now Hot Grinder Profile is free.
Oh, that's an armor break.
Just a stun, fortunately, but that is gonna keep things in the favor of the Nibblers.
Can I just say how ironic
Wild Animal is going to fail. By the way, neither teams have rerolls.
Yep, so this is just going for it, but
I don't actually know if they carry over from second half or if you just don't have any.
But either way,
I've not checked
both
before.
teams have none. But can I just state the irony of the assassin not successfully stabbing 1 Skaven and the logo of Naggarond's Chosen being a bloodied knife?
Yeah. And I think that walkback was the right choice. But now if the Dark Elves can position themselves properly, they can get a good pass in. The Witch Elf is I'd say either Andaith or Fearcaller, the Witch Elf and the Assassin, those 2 have the best chance of getting into a spot where a pass would be possible. There is a heavy amount of agility on this Dark Elf team to make such a pass. The question is how well they could cover their own players once that happens.
This is going to be...
And
it's just handing it over to the Naggarond's Chosen now. Well, let's see what... Oh, damn. That's a very advantageous knockout.
That's going to be a very good block for them. There are still tackle zones for Kurthel to fight through if he wants to take that opening there. But this definitely helps lighten the load a little bit. I think a pass might be his best play once he can set it up right, but they're hard. They can be very hard to land.
Yep.
And looks like we're just going to see a push here.
Either that or he's setting it up so that he can throw it to somebody on the other side of the pitch.
He very well may be. Like I said, he does have a couple of players open for that. Unfortunately, Riffin does not have any abilities to help him catch the ball. He only has the dump off. And he's going to make that dodge roll. He is in open pitch right now. A lot of Skaven on the right end of the pitch who can make their way over to cover him.
Yeah, a lot.
Along with the there's just a lot of Skaven in general who can do something about this, and Reaper's going to have to address that.
Well, he's sending in some of his backliners for backup. The Witch
and
going
there's
in.
The blitz coming out from the Witch Elf. Just a push for now, but if he pushes towards the ball carrier...
Don't
okay,
forget
just
about the Frenzy. Once again, pushing him even further away.
That is the one situation where I think pushing towards the runner would have been better because it would have given a 2-die roll to get that knockdown.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Because a knockdown player next to the runner can still be a threat with a blitz when standing up, but I think that with enough players around, that might have still turned out in his favor. I don't know. That's a hard one to judge for me.
It really is.
Watch this undead coach and this necromantic coach try and talk about agility-based teams.
I speak of it with envy. If only my rotting jointed players knew what a dodge was.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Oh god, the end of last game when your werewolf failed that dodge is just so heartbreaking.
Thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome. I'll be playing Haunchy in our game, by the way.
Oh,
I will definitely be fielding him.
I hope he brings you every bit as much pain as he's brought me.
All right, so.
Oh, by the way, fun little tidbit for everybody here. A little screenshot was sent to me from Ben whilst editing one of his videos, and I believe it was a picture of Haunchy, except the only parts of Haunchy that were visible was his uniform and his armor. He himself was invisible, which prompted me to state the famous line, "He sucks so hard he can't even be visible right."
Yeah, so if anyone watched that game last week, you would have seen it. But here's a little thing if you want to go back and watch that for some reason. The first time Haunchy gets knocked down and has his arm in a close-up, if you look just below Haunchy as he's falling, you can see the parts of his body that are supposed to be visible hanging in midair just above where the grass is.
Ain't it good?
It's not connected to him. It's so funny.
Maybe that's why Haunchy sucks so bad. He can't stay located in time-space.
Haunchy's just a shit tier tracer main.
Haunchy's just a shit tier Time Lord.
Alright, so I think the Skaven are going to have to make a block onto Bethlane to get him out of the way. But that's not going to deal with the problem of... God, there's so many tackle zones.
Oh!
And I think that might have just decided the game.
I think so. It's one dodge roll away. Knock on wood.
Well,
oh wait, this is
a
composite.
I mean, it could be one dodge roll, or it could be one block.
Well, we're about to find out.
And there is Fear Caller going for the block. There is the knockdown onto other Quickie Boy, and it is open field for Kurthel.
Kurthel, just run. Just do it. Just take it.
And Naggarond's Chosen are going to the championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was amazing.
I am amazed. All right,
let's go meet the coaches.
Down to the pitch.
Like, it wasn't one thing, it was everything.
Oh my god.
That was...
Gentlemen.
And that was an incredible game.
That was crazy.
I am happy to have been a part of this.
And I am going...
to the championships.
To the finals.
You'll be facing off...
Well,
it's either me or Dylan. We haven't played our game yet.
And I've lost to both of you.
That is true.
Well, who knows?
God damn it.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good, though.
That was awesome. I mean, either way...
Do you validate this match?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Well, gentlemen, I must say, this has been a privilege to watch, and this is just no disputing it. This has been my favorite game of Blood Bowl thus far.
That was really crazy.
Whew. So, anything you would like to say to your adoring fans after these games?
See you in season 2, right? Like, I mean, there was a lot of things I could have played better there, I think, but definitely got extremely unlucky.
Bethlehem has Blodge now.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Very good choice.
Blodge, the nightmare fuel of everyone who plays against Dark Elves.
By the way, congratulations on the highest scoring game of season 1.
We did it!
Yes! That was a break. That was a record.
You are now the record holder for highest consecutive points in a game.
Highest total.
So,
total.
Highest total. Not the highest by one team, but the highest points of any team in season 1 on the regulars or so far in the minors.
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
You did not beat the most by one person though, because I kind of beat Tristan 4-0 in the minors.
Yeah, in the minors.
There's level 3 now.
All right.
Oh, so you're both your gunner runners are level 3.
Yes.
So
Damn.
can I be honest?
Sure.
Yeah.
Both me and Eiley were expecting her to win that game.
I expected her to win that game.
It was really. I mean, I played. There was a few plays that I made that were like really suspect. So I'm like, it might be fine, and it bit me in the ass.
I'm gonna be honest. I saw the beginning of overtime and I thought this is anyone's game.
No,
Reapers-
it goes down to a coin flip. By the way, that we've been playing. Actually, no, it does go to a coin flip literally, because by the way the game is played already. So as soon as he gets possession, it's like, no, this might be over.
Yeah, as soon as Reaper.
You may say that, but at the end of the first half, Reaper took possession away from you on your own kickoff. And I don't doubt that you could do the same, so that could have gone in your favor if you'd lined it up right.
Second half I got the kickoff.
All I know is
No. The end of the first half, after you scored for the first time,
Right, yeah,
the kick went to Eiley, and you got it back.
All I know is that I saw Reaper do his first turn, and I thought if he keeps playing like this, he's gonna win. And
Yeah, I was about to be. That was just
Yeah.
like all in.
That was a really, really solid first turn. I was expecting a blitz from Hot Grinder Profile onto the ball carrier, but after that wild animal... Yeah, after that wild animal...
Well.
No. The sad part is that it uses the blitz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, oh.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's really bad. He didn't do anything.
The thing is, I know you can click on the player with wild animal and then click wild animal to make the roll, but I don't know if you can make a blitz check call after that.
Well, GG, everybody.
You cannot.
I don't think you can. I'm pretty sure the
you
blitz you have to declare before everything else,
can't.
which is unfortunate. That's why I almost never declare blitzes with anyone who has Bonehead or Wild Animal. I did it once in my game against Eiley in the Minors with my bear, and it failed.
So the issue is that I think with the way that the Rat Ogre is that it's more likely to succeed on the roll if it's a blitz. I think that's part of Wild Animal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Well,
I mean, I'm
Wild
right in front of my
Animal,
computer.
roll a d6, adding 2 on the roll if taking a block or a blitz. Okay.
Okay, so yeah.
I always thought it was just
would have-
blitz. So I've been playing this character wrong like the whole fucking game. Okay.
Only slightly, but
All right.
regardless, that was a great game to watch. So,
Yeah,
yes,
Reaps?
Reaper?
Do you guys want to hear how many yards I ran for that game?
Sure.
156 yards.
Holy shit.
Nice.
I think that broke the record for one of Dylan's werewolves.
For reference, in the regular season total, I ran 546.
So you ran about a fifth of what you did for the entire 7
more
games.
like a fourth.
I also
No, yeah, about a fourth. My bad.
ran about a fourth as well. I was 102 yards running today, and there's 432 in the whole regular season.
All right, hold on. I need to check something.
All right.
We need to check the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
The Hall of Fame won't be updated yet.
No!
I know, but we need to check it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You can check the Hall of Fame for the playoffs, but
No, you can't.
I think it includes all 4 teams that are in the playoffs.
Actually, yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, I set it to playoffs, and I'm still seeing the other teams, so
Alright.
I'm not sure.
All right. Well, I gotta go eat a late dinner, so this has been awesome.
Oh
That was
my
great.
god! Oh, I get it!
Did you level something up?
What?
Oh. I was asking if you leveled somebody up. I was like, wait,
I
did you
did.
level up too? Ooh.
I did, yeah. Bethlehem.
All right.
One of my blitzers has Blodge now.
And with that horrific realization, I will see you all later. And to all you adoring Blood Bowl fans, thank you for watching. We've enjoyed it just as much as you.
Hell yeah.
Thank you all for watching. We will see you next week with the game between me and Dylan to determine who will be playing Reaper in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
See you all next week.